Greetings once again to you, our dear friends. I, Urias, continuing on with our topics to teach you different areas of spirituality. And today's topic is on the ages. All right? And most people are aware of the Iron Age, the Bronze Age, the Silver Age, and the Golden Age. And in the Greek philosophy, they studied that also. So it's something that is simple, but maybe not understood fully by all of mankind. The ages are set into 4 different ages. And I'll just describe to you the ages and before we expand on that. The first one is a 1200-year cycle, and that is called Kali Yuga, and that is what would be termed the Iron Age, the Material Age. The next stage from that is a 2400-year cycle and that is called Dwapara Yuga, which is the Atomic Electrical Age, the age that you are in, literally known as the Bronze Age. Then the next age from there goes to what is termed as Treta Yuga, and Treta Yuga is a 3600-year, a 3600-year cycle, and that is known as the Silver Age. And then the next age from there is, of course, the Golden Age, the spiritual age of Satya Yuga, and that is a cycle of 4,800 years. So you have 12, 24, 36, and 48. And that brings a total of 12,000-year cycle. In those 4 ages, mankind's brain evolves. So in the 1200 year of Kali Yuga, better known as the Dark Ages, the Material Age, mankind's brain is only a quarter developed. In the next stage, as I said, Treta Yuga, the age or the Atomic Electrical Age, the Bronze Age, which you are in now, then mankind's brain is evolved to half its capacity. The next stage from there, which is Treta Yuga, and that is the Divine Magnetism Age, the Silver Age, then mankind's brain is 3/4 developed, and then into the spiritual age of Satya Yuga, and that's for 4,800-year cycle, then man's brain is fully developed, and that's when all the spiritual faculties manifest in 100% godlike way. So they are the ages. So you have, when I say a cycle, it's a cycle of a 12,000-year upward cycle and a 12,000-year downward cycle. So on the downward cycle, they just reverse. Now, the solar system, your solar system, and your great central sun, takes a central star as its point. And from there, at its closest, it is at the spiritual light age of God. And then, from there, on the downward cycle, it starts the 12,000-year journey away from that great central star. And that is when mankind's brain hemisphere in each of the ages loses a quarter of the evolvement of the physical brain. So therefore, as it comes on the downward cycle of the spiritual age, it starts to, and that is Satya Yuga, the Golden Age, it starts to lose a quarter of its capacity of evolvement. And then coming back down to Treta Yuga, and that is, of course, the Divine Magnetism Age, it loses another quarter of its capacity. Down into Dwapara Yuga, the Atomic Electrical Age, it loses the other quarter. And then the final age, 12,000 years away from the great central star, it is back down to its quarter capacity. And that is the what people call the Dark Ages, the Material Age. All right, like that. So this is a cycle that your whole solar system and all solar systems in the that have physical life on it work through. So you go basically from the Iron Age to the Bronze Age to the Silver Age and Golden Age, and then come back down to the 12,000 year farthest point away. So let's look at now the farthest point away, and that is 12,000 years, all right, from the great central star, and that the sun has taken its position from, and that is termed Kali Yuga, which is the material age. And in that age, that is where mankind can look nothing but at material areas. He can't visualize any computers, televisions, or everything, cars, what you have now. All his dealing, because of the limited capacity of the brain, is to do with material areas. And if you look back, you'll see that in the Dark Ages, mankind goes to war and war and war, etc., etc., like that. And so, good and lucky for yourselves, you have come out of the Kali Yuga, and now you are in the atomic electrical age of Dwapara Yuga. It's quite simple, very simple. So, and if you look back in the last 100, 200 years, you'll see how mankind has slowly developed electricity and then lighting and all of those, and then right up to your age now of computers and technology, which is going fast forward, and your scientists are looking at discoveries of curing, bacterial and germ-lights, etc., of cancer and many other areas. So this is where you are now. So you are now in the atomic electrical age of the Dwapara Yuga, and you are on the upward cycle, which is a very good position to be in. So even though there are still wars going on around in your world now, one must always keep in thought that you are on the upward cycle. So in other words, it's not going to keep on keeping on with warlike conditions forever and ever, all right, like that. So that really is the story of the ages in a brief session like this that we can give to you, because there's a lot more expansion on those areas. But just to bring it down to a format of, if you said, well, Urias, what are the yugas, the ages? Well, the whole cycle is 24,000 years. It's a 12,000 downward cycle to the farthest point away from the great central star that your sun has merged to, and then you come back 12,000 years to the great spiritual star that your sun and solar planets have merged to, and that is in the spiritual age. So it's quite interesting to learn about the yugas, the ages, because it's all connected, as we said before, to do with the physical brain. It's and if you think about it, you might say, well, Urias, why not back in the dark ages of Kali Yuga, back in the 1400, 1200, 800 BC or before, why did they not develop computers, and cars? Well, the simple reason is because their brain was not evolved enough to merge into that technological areas that it could cope with. You see, it's very, very simple. God's truths are always simple, but sometimes it's shadowed a little by the veils that come down in front of you. And you just look outside and you see your blue sky and sunshine, you think, oh, well, everything is fine, like that. So we'll leave that today just on the yugas, and we will continue on our discussions. So as always, I, Urias, leave you in God's great light. Thank you.